How US antitrust order could impact big tech elsewhere. The problem that it specifically flags include that of big tech firms collecting massive volumes of personal information, acquiring fledgling competitors, and holding a competitive advantage against small businesses and corporate consolidation. Capitalism without competition isn't it capitalism? It's exploitation. President Joe Biden said Friday as he signed an executive order aimed at cracking the dominance of big tech firms and fostering competition across a number of sectors. This new order is being seen as a decisive policy step in the Biden administration stated mission of targeting big tech, coming close on the heels of the appointment of two vocal big tech waiters in Washington, D.C. Lina Khan at the helm of FTC and Tim Wu as his special assistant for technology and competition policy. The new order and its remit. Friday's executive order includes 72 actions and suggestions involving multiple federal agencies. The problem that it specifically flags include that of big tech firms collecting massive volumes of personal information, acquiring fledgling competitors, and holding a competitive advantage against small businesses and corporate consolidation. The line of actions proposed include a set of new rules to be issued by the FTC on data collection, increased scrutiny of fresh mergers in technology sector, scrutiny of anti-competitive moves in the internet marketplaces. Other sectors under the scanner include travel, healthcare, and agriculture. Amazon others in the crosshairs. A fact sheet released by the government lists out transgressions without naming companies and entities, but it does not make any pretense about the intended targets. For instance, the document talks about how companies that run dominant online retail marketplaces can see how sellers are doing on the platform and then use the data to launch their own competing products. This is aimed at Amazon and has discernible Khan imprint on it, resonating with what she had flagged in a 2017 paper titled Amazon's Antitrust Paradox, where she had critically examined the online selling platform's dual role. This dual role, Khan had then said, also enables a platform to exploit information collected on companies using its services to undermine them as competition policy principles applying common career obligations and duties. The executive order by the US federal government comes weeks after House Judiciary Committee also voted to approve a series of antitrust bills which could force big tech firms to transfer or even break up their business. Scrutiny of tech mergers, sectoral surges in prices. While on the one hand, on the order calls for changes to how tech mergers and other anti-competitive behavior by big tech is scrutinized, the order also aims to bring down prices of goods and services that have risen over time with companies in various sectors such as airlines, pharmaceuticals, mobile phones, internet connections, etc., gaining control of their respective segments. However, in calling for sweeping actions that look at lowering prices across companies often provide services for free but make consumers pay for with their data. Potential impact beyond the US include India included. The move could have resonance outside the US coming at a time when there is increasing consensus across geographies on the issue. In India, there have been a number of antitrust cases against big tech companies like Amazon and Google being investigated by the Competition Commission of India, but none so far with a significant impact on the behavior of the company's operation. In 2018, the CCI fined Google rupees 136 crore for search bias. However, this fine was set aside by the National Company Law Appellate Tribunal just months later. Specific antitrust cases notwithstanding, New Delhi has also ratcheted up the heat on big tech companies on the policy front with the IT intermediary rules that impact social media companies like Facebook and Twitter and the imminent amendments to consumer protection rules that increase compliance burdens for Amazon and Walmart on Flipkart. So when the development in the US sends signals across the board about a greater consensus on preventing accumulation of too much power with a handful of companies. It does so from an antitrust point of view that aims at having a level playing field. Consumers' dependence on a few large platforms. The Indian antitrust regulator is learned to be studying the dependence of consumers and enterprises on a few large digital platforms. A previous government instituted review of the competition law conducted in 2018, while finding existing provisions largely adequate and fit for purpose, has recommended overarching amendments for additional enforcement mechanism. In the interest of speedier resolution of cases, which is particularly critical in the context of fast changing digital markets. More importantly, how the US manages to rein in big tech firms. More importantly, how the US manages to rein in big tech firms through the executive order, and whether these companies are forced to make changes to how they operate could set precedents for another antitrust regulators to ask the same of these firms in their jurisdiction. This could also be a step forward alignment of policy outlook on both sides of the Atlantic. This could mean an affirmation in Washington of the antitrust actions taken by the European Union, which has so far waged a lone battle against big tech. Thank you.